Hey, are you trying to improve your lifts today? Well, today we're going to talk about post-activation potentiation and potentiation sets used in power building. What is post-activation potentiation? It's a training methodology to improve muscular function and power output before your main explosive work, or in our case with power building, before our main rep work or our main intensity work. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Okay, to understand how we're going to use potentiation sets in our power build training to increase size and strength, we have to first understand where traditional post-activation work comes from. Traditionally, you're going to use this for athletes who need to develop power and explosiveness. So you're going to perform a heavy exercise, force development exercise, like a strength exercise, between 85 to 90% of that athlete's one repetition max. After that, you're going to rest about between 2 to 4 minutes, and then perform a plyo or speed work exercise, something like a squat and then a box jump, or a sled push and then a sprint. Now, it's important to remember that these exercises need to be biomechanically similar, right? You're not going to do a heavy bench press and expect to see improvement in your speed work, your sprint work, right? But if we do a heavy bench press, maybe we will see improvement in the punching power or maybe a med ball toss power exercise. Okay. Now that we understand how it's used in a traditional sense, how is it used in a power building sense? All right, what does a power builder's potentiation set look like? How do we use potentiation to help increase our size and our strength? Well, I have two methods for you that I want you to try out, and leave a comment down below on how it works for you. All right, the first one is our potentiation for our rep work. Now, last block I was noticing that I was not getting in the groove until my third or fourth working set with my heavy rep work. I was talking to my coach, and the important thing we thought of was a potentiation set prior to the working sets. Now, this potentiation set should be between 1 and 3 reps, between 85 and 90%, and must not fatigue us at all for a rep work. Probably only going to hit about 1 set. This is very similar to a powerlifter's top set. The other method we could use for our potentiation of our rep work is RP, or Dr. Mike Isertel's method, where maybe if I'm doing curls with 100 pounds, and last week I got 10, this week I'm supposed to get 12, I might not be feeling it. My first set, maybe I only do it for about 4 reps, that 100 pounds, put it down, realize that I'm good to go, and then I would do my working sets. So 2 methods for you. 1, do a heavy top set prior to your heavy work, or 2, do just a couple reps of your working set weight before you go into your actual working sets. Now, the second method I have for you is a potentiation for your maximal work. Let's say you're going to hit a heavy top set on your bench or your squat or something like that, or maybe you're hitting very, very heavy maximal work loads. We're doing a potentiation set prior to that is not going to make sense. Why would we do a potentiation set if we're actually working in the 90% rep range? This is where we're going to use the opposite of our traditional work, traditional post-activation potentiation work. What we're going to do is perform speed or power work prior to that maximal work that is biomechanically similar. So let's say we're doing squats, maybe we do something like a box squat, or even it could be argued that we do maybe a light sled push, a very powerful light sled push beforehand. Trust me, this will get you warmed up and ready to go to hit those maximal weights. Because what you're doing is, without creating fatigue, because there's no weight on you, you are still trying to exert maximal force or maximal power in order to jump. That's the goal, that's the reasoning behind this. Very, very important, we do not create fatigue. If we create fatigue, it's going to take away from our main work. We don't want to do that, we only want to help benefit it. Now, to give you an example, I have a few videos of me doing it. All right, here are some examples. This is a potentiation set, heavy single before my main rep work. Again, this should be between 85 to 90%. It should not fatigue you. It should be a weight you can hit any day of the week. It will get you prepped and ready to go for your first main working set with reps. Here I have 463. And I'm prepared on set 1 instead of feeling like I got the groove on set 3 or 4. Your potentiation set is really your last warm-up set. Now, to talk about the other example of speed work before maximal work. Earlier in the day here, I did some bench press throws where I'm trying to generate as much force and power into that bar. And later in the day, I use my maximal force
training, and I'm hitting I believe this was 460 here for a double. So a couple months ago. And for a lower body example, I have some broad jumps for my speed and power, trying to generate as much force into the ground while keeping everything relatively light. So this way later I can go in and generate as much force as I possibly can in my deadlift and move these weights easy. All right, if you guys have any questions, always reach out, tankstrengthcoaching.com. See you soon.